Hello there. This is Amalia with XRAY FM. I am sitting down today with Portland artist Maita in Radio Boise studio in Boise, Idaho at Treefort Music Festival. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here. So you're on tour currently, is that correct? Or just coming here for the music festival?
We are not quite on tour. We did do a show in Moscow, Idaho for a Treefort Music Festival.
Yeah.
And hung out there for a little while. So, yeah, we just stacked up a couple things to make our way out.
Very good. What are some of the challenges to traveling around and bringing all of your gear and your craft on the road like this? Is it, besides the drive itself, what's most challenging for you?
Gosh. Well, I guess if I was on so for these like little short trips, I guess the most challenging thing would just be logistics and making sure everything stays safe and figuring out where to put your gear between shows or on days off when you need to go hang out and you don't want to be by your van all the time.
Totally.
But on longer trips, I would say just like finding space and time for self-care is probably the hardest thing.
What does that look like for you, self-care on the road?
For me, it's definitely finding healthy food to eat, making sure that you can get enough sleep, making sure that you get a little bit of alone time, especially if you're touring with a full band, because you're just trapped in a car all the time with each other, and then you get to a bar, and then all of a sudden, or a show, and all of a sudden you're like with a bunch of strangers. So it's really hard to get that alone space to kind of recharge, which is important for me. Not all people need that, but I do.
Yeah, absolutely. What are some of then the biggest lessons that you've learned, like how to do it right and how to do it wrong?
I guess knowing when to relax and not party is a good one. Just because the option is there all the time, and I mean we're dealing with that a little bit this week because obviously Treefort, there's amazing things happening every single night, and it's like 5 nights long. And then Pre-Fort was 2 nights, and it started on Tuesday.
Wow.
So yeah, it's every single night. It's been hard to figure out how much to party and hang out, and how much to go home and sleep, and what to do when. And I think the hard thing with music is, and this is a good thing, you're so often in positions where there's amazing things happening all night. Yeah. And like knowing when to say when is, I think, just the hardest thing, especially since we want to be doing all those things, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're certainly happy to have you here. Talk a little bit about maybe the place that Treefort has in the touring circuit. Where do multi-genre festivals like this sort of fit into the grand scheme of playing shows for you?
For me, it's definitely one of the higher points for me for playing shows. I think just because being at a place like this means you're reaching an audience that you never would have reached, perhaps, if you were just going on a tour. Just because there's so many different kinds of music here, and so many different kinds of people who come to this festival, and that's why it's so popular. And it's honestly, it's really overwhelming how many bands there are. Like there's pretty much a guarantee. There's like 500 bands or something like that. You're pretty much guaranteed to be able to find something you want to watch every single hour. So I think it just attracts everyone who likes music. You know? It doesn't matter what kind of music. If you like it, you're here. So for us, it's really good both as performers, but also as audience members, I think, just because we can go out and get inspired, and you know, you might share bills often with people who are similar to you music genre wise. So it's really good to be in a place where we can also explore and get inspired, because honestly you kind of start to get ear fatigue after a while. Listen to the same thing over and over again, even if they're great.
What are some of the favorite acts that you've seen so far?
Let's see here. I haven't seen as much music as I wanted to yet, because I did the thing where I rested on Thursday.
There you go.
And I was like, I can't do this. So yesterday was kind of my first day. I saw O Rose, and they were really great. That was awesome. I went and saw Chai, and that was a group that I was really excited to see, the Japanese group, and they were awesome. And then I saw Prison Bitch, and they killed it. Like we saw them perform at the beer spot, the punk spot, and it started pouring during their set. So then I saw them at the Shredder, and they just they shredded.
Shredded.
Pretty cool.
Cool. That's great.
Yeah.
Cool. How do different audiences then, maybe here at Treefort as well as just generally in your experience playing in front of different people, how do different audiences engage with the music, and does that change the way that you resonate with it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm the kind of person that I tend to like be very sensitive to how the room is feeling, which I think can be a good thing and a bad thing, because I like playing to the room, and Maita has we have like a full like rock and roll set, and then we have like a full folky set we can pull out if we have to. And it's, sometimes I have something decided before we play, like we're gonna do it this way, and then we get to the room and it's just like, oh wow, there's like 20 people here, and they're all like settling in with their glasses of wine, and they just want to like listen to something soft. And then you can either choose to do that, or you can just stick to your guns and like play the set that you were planning on playing, and try to convince them. And I think there's value to doing it both ways. Still, that's something I'm kind of still figuring out.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you can convince people to be into something that they weren't planning on being into.
Yeah.
And I think that's also something really fun and expected.
That's really cool. Let's talk about inspirations. What are some of the biggest musical influences for you?
I guess I grew up listening to all like indie folk when I was in high school, and so I like to say, like, when I was a kid, or teenager, I guess, like I learned to write songs from listening to like Bright Eyes and Elliott Smith, and then I learned to sing by listening to Regina Spektor, and then going on from there. Lately I've been into like more like rock and roll, like I like got super into like Nirvana and like the Built to Spill, those kind of bands, and wanted to play like a little bit of a harder sound. And in recent years, like there's been so many good artists coming out that like it's hard to know, like sometimes you listen to something and you're like, did they influence me, or am I really connecting with this because it's similar to what I do, like just like there's like this like echo chamber going on in music today, which is really cool, and it's cool to be a part of it. So yeah, I don't know. It's a hard question. It's always changing.
Yeah, that's great, as it should. I guess in that creative process of using inspiration from things you love and then trying to come up with something that feels original and authentic, what's most rewarding and what's most difficult about that writing process?
Well, one of the most difficult parts of it is coming up with something new to say. I think that music is always going to borrow from music's past, and that's just the way it is. That's how art is. And the important thing is, I think, being aware of where those influences are coming from. Like, if you're going to be like, this sounds a lot like this other song, like, at least know it.
Yeah.
And don't try to claim that you came up with it. But I think, like, that's totally normal in music. I think that the most important thing is having something genuine to say, like, whether it's with your energy or with your words. If it's true and it's genuine, or like, ideally, if it's really, really unique, then that's the value in it. So that's the hard part, is finding that.
And kind of dovetailing off of that, your group creates music that's so intimate and personal sounding at a time when I think our culture and our society is really clamoring to hear women's voices more. How is it as an artist creating in the age of the Me Too movement, when it's maybe not contentious, but it's people are really paying attention? And I think, Yeah, what do you see your music as a form of advocacy or resistance, and how do you navigate sort of that personal and very public kind of display?
I mean, yeah, I definitely think inherently that since I am trying to tell truths or my own personal truths, and being a woman, especially in the music industry, can be like can be a pretty difficult place, and you're going to run into some challenges. And so, if you're expressing yourself based on those experiences, even if I'm not like branding it as this like revolutionary songs or anything like that, if you're speaking some kind of truth, oftentimes I find that can be even more powerful because people are really relating to it in a personal way and in a real way, and they don't feel like they're being like told how to feel about something. Like those are my favorite like revolutionary songs is really the ones that like sneak up on you and like get under your skin, and you're like, oh, I didn't realize that that's what they were trying to say, and now I get it. And then that really, I think, kind of like moves those changes along. I mean, I think it's great right now. I definitely notice that it's been a lot more exciting as a woman in the music industry. I feel like we still definitely have a lot farther to go, but there's been a lot more effort put into trying to increase the platform upon which women can speak their stories.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited that I actually have a platform for that, and that I can try to navigate these like nuanced paths of like being a woman today, and in this very rapidly changing world. Actually, like there's a Me Too movement, and now there's like how that looks and how that's like reverberating across the culture. So
yeah,
it's pretty fascinating.
Does Portland seem like a sort of role model for how to do it right to you? Do you poke holes in the music community locally there?
Portland is pretty good, I would say. I mean, the thing is, I've only lived in Portland for music, so but I guess we do travel around, and I know that there's so many good like women fronted bands in Portland, and so many good musicians who are women, and it's a good place to start. It's still not perfect. I definitely think that especially when a city feels that it's very progressive, it can sometimes forget to try to become even more progressive and get better, and like people tend to think like we got it figured out, and that's the one thing about Portland that I think is potentially holding itself back from getting better. It's just like, we got it figured out. We're
good
like
enough.
A super cool rad place. That being said, like I've played in other towns that are amazing, and there's no women artists in the scene, just because it's still like very much like a male dominated world, and so it is a great place. Portland's a great place for that.
Well, thank you for doing what you do there. It change only happens by having people leading the charge.
Well, thanks for giving microphones.
So you do have a debut album that's due to release in late 2019. How do you feel about that?
Well, so it's our debut full length, and it was recorded with the guys that I'm playing with at the festival, actually, and it's very much, it's gonna sound different than the EP, and I think that we've been really waiting to release it for a long time, and it's just with album and release schedules, sometimes it takes a lot longer than you want it to.
Sure.
So to us, we just want it to be out, because if you feel like the show that we perform right now isn't the same as what is online for people to listen to.
Sure.
And getting that true thing into the world is really something we want to do quickly. Yeah, but I'm excited about it.
That's great.
Super pumped about it.
Do you have a relative date, month?
Not quite.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I'll just say it's definitely not going to take another year. Like, we'll definitely get it out before a year has passed.
Absolutely.
It's just super vague.
Absolutely. Very good. Okay. Last question on my roster. What's the favorite record that you have discovered recently?
just the most recent song that I discovered was off of Me, Julia, Jacqueline record, actually, and I really, that's I guess the record that I've been listening to a lot the most recently, and God, the opening song is just like the most perfect song I've ever heard. It's the most devastating song, and lyrically, the whole album is just, like I said, it's just rings true. Like, she's really saying things that that are genuine, and you know, that's with artists, like, it doesn't even have to be autobiographical. I think with her it might be, but even if it wasn't, they feel like honest representations of something.
Yeah.
So that's the one I think I would say.
Very good. I will check it out. Where can we find you this weekend at Treefort? When you playing?
We will be at the Linen Building today at 5.
Yes, you will.
And we're doing also an unofficial set at Camp Modern tomorrow at 5.
Awesome. Thank you so very much, Maria from Maita. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Likewise.
Yeah. Rah.